You're listening to episode 11 of the TA Pedals podcast. I'm Tristan.
And I'm Stefan.
What up, yo?
Whoa, what up?
So, this morning we did something pretty cool.
Yeah, we did.
We chose the winner for the Vampire Squid Fuzz giveaway. We reached 300 followers, which was our goal on Instagram. And we took everyone who entered and we put their name in a metaphorical hat. And we had a wheel that randomly selected the winner. And Babylon Sun, it's you, buddy.
You've won.
You've won a new pedal. Not only is this pedal new, but it's special edition. There is not another one like it, nor will there ever be another one exactly like this.
You'll have the only one that is like this one.
It's pretty sick. It's got one of our LED light ring things. I don't know what to call it yet, but
it's a LED riser.
Yeah, an LED riser. This
custom piece of equipment goes on your pedal and it extrudes light in the shape of LEDs in whatever color we decide, which in this case is blue.
Yeah, so essentially instead of having the top LED indicator that shows that the light's on, that the pedal's on, I'm sorry. There are LEDs on the inside and there is a little like ring gasket thing that goes between the back plate of the pedal and the main part of the enclosure. And we put blue LEDs in it, so when you stomp on it, it'll shine light from around the edges of the pedal in a nice royal blue.
Yeah, so it's super cool. You guys have seen it. We've posted it on Instagram. That pedal that has the light coming out of the bottom that shines in all different directions, that is the pedal that Babylon Sun you'll be getting. We'd like to do a quick shout out. Like, we got 49 entries and we think that's pretty crazy. Like, to have that much participant in something so small is pretty crazy.
Yeah, normally, like when we try to do this stuff, when we've done it in the past, we've seen very limited interaction. Even when we've given pedals away, I've tried to give pedals away, and it was almost like a chore. Like, it was like, oh, please, someone take this free pedal. And we are really proud of our pedals, and we want to get them into the hands of people who appreciate it. And Babylon Sun, we know you've wanted one of these for a long time, and we couldn't be more happy that you were the winner. Yeah. So thanks for entering, everyone. And for everyone who entered and didn't win, we are going to be posting a 15% off discount code to our website where you can get 15% off one entire purchase. So if you want to get a pedal and a keychain, a t-shirt and a keychain, whatever.
Or two pedals, whatever you want, you get 15% off your entire purchase, whatever you decide to purchase.
It's true.
And those codes will be posted around the same time that this podcast is going to be posted.
Heck yes.
So even if you didn't win the pedal, you still win something.
Yeah, and you've won our hearts.
We appreciate you guys so much.
Like seriously, we can't overstate that. It's the support that we've gotten from you guys, from, the pedals and the podcast and our videos that we have on YouTube. It's, sometimes it's overwhelming, like to know that there are people out there who care about what we're doing. And, thank you from the bottom of our hearts, the most sincerest thank you I've ever given. Thank you.
Yes. Thank you.
So anyway, what else is going on today?
Well, we got a few things today. We got some enclosures for the new Shark Overdrive, and we are excited to get that going because won't be long before they're up for sale.
Yeah, it's true. Like hopefully, maybe a week at the most, and that's just because I'm going into my work week pretty soon. It all kind of just depends, but very soon, guys, very soon, and it's going to be a pretty limited run at first. And so if you want one, if you've been waiting on it, grab it quick. And the 15% off coupon will also apply to the Shark too. That promotional, if you entered, you'll be able to use that on the Shark when it comes out. So if you entered, you have a leg up and you can get it a little cheaper than the other people who didn't enter. So be on the lookout because we imagine they're going to go pretty fast.
For sure. So in case you guys need a quick refresh update on what the Shark is going to be, it is an overdrive / distortion. It starts out more of an overdrive and it can go into distortion, and it has a 3-band EQ with high, mids, and lows. It also has a toggle that you can switch between guitar frequencies and bass frequencies. It also is going to be true bypass as well as buffered. So if you need a buffer pedal, you don't need to buy a separate buffer pedal. You can use this one as a buffer pedal.
Yeah, because the way that we have routed everything is we actually have a buffer that your guitar signal goes into the buffer before it goes into the bypass, so the buffer is always active. And so even when you aren't engaging the distortion circuit, yeah, you're going to have access to the buffer, so you can buffer your guitar signal and make it more friendly with the pedals that are down the line. So that's pretty exciting. Yeah, and also like Stefan was saying about the overdrive and being able to go into distortion, it's a Marshall flavored distortion overdrive type thing, and we're using blue LEDs to clip. And so it's going to have a pretty responsive feel as well. Not, it's everyone always compares LEDs to like guitar amp tubes, but it's not exactly the same thing, but they do have to saturate to a certain, point, or you have to have enough signal going into them before they clip. And so in that way, like they are more responsive to your playing when the distortion knob is set to a particular space, like right before they clip, and then you play a little harder and they'll start to clip and distort. So I'm really excited to actually try that out because I've been thinking about it a lot. And yeah, it's going to be an awesome distortion pedal. So we're excited to finally be able to put it together for you guys and get it out.
Yeah, and speaking of buffers, we have our little buffer that is done with testing, and hopefully that'll be out within the next month or two.
Yeah, I think that'll come sooner rather than later, I would imagine. It's essentially the buffer that we implemented in the Shark. It's pretty much it is the same buffer. It's the same buffer. It's a high quality buffer. It's just in standalone format in case you just need a buffer.
Yeah. And it looks pretty cool.
Yeah, we were going back and forth between using a matte white enclosure for it or a ball silver. Ball silver was Stefan's choice. White was, what I was more leaning to. And then I was like, you know what? I think that silver is going to be awesome. So we just dropped the white, and the silver looks awesome. We got it today. Looking at it, it's really sweet.
Yeah, and it just, everything just fits. Like it looks so cool. It matches our style. I have no doubt that it's going to be something that people are going to want if they're just wanting a buffer.
Yeah, it looks like a science lab.
Yeah.
It's got a flask on it, and there's some stuff bubbling out of it. And that stuff is the solution to all your tone problems. So yeah, we gotta make some adjustments on the like the input and output jack placement. which is, not going to be anything crazy, but just adjusted a little bit to be more in line with like where we wanted it to be. We had some problems with where they were drilled this time, and by moving them over just a couple millimeters, it's gonna make everything come together a lot better. So
the only issue we had was just that one little issue, which this one we got was the prototype anyway, just to see how everything was gonna fit, and we realized really quickly, like, move over the jacks a few millimeters, and it's perfect. So no problems at all.
Yep. Nope. That's honestly probably some of the smoothest product development we've had so far. Like, just the hole for the LED lined up perfectly, the graphics lined up perfectly. That everything's going to be perfect. Just got to move the jacks over a little bit, and it'll be fine.
Yep.
So anyway,
let's talk about your blog thing with the 10 perfect albums.
Okay, so I've wanted to, I've been thinking about our website a lot, and, I really like the way that our website looks, and it's got some cool stuff on there. But like when I was thinking about it, just being, straight honest with myself, I was like, why would I go to our website? Like, if I wasn't looking for a pedal, if I wasn't, specifically looking for the vampire squid, and I didn't know we had t-shirts or keychains or anything, like, why would I go to tapedals.com? And the answer was I wouldn't. Like, there's nothing there currently, there's nothing to interact with, there's nothing fun to do. And so I decided that, maybe since Monday is usually like my day off, but on Tuesday we shoot the podcast and record, or shoot video and record the podcast, anything we need to do like that. And then we put that out on Wednesday. And I'm trying to create like a more stable schedule for us. And I was like, well, you know what? Monday could be like blog day. And so I could, I want to figure out a way to, or not a way to, but I want to start posting blogs. I want to start blogging and sharing my thoughts on different things that I'm interested in, music wise, and like writing, little articles for you guys to come and read. And this week I decided to do what are, in my opinion, the top 10 most perfect albums that I've ever heard. And, obviously that's really subjective and not everyone is going to agree. And in fact, I think the number one post, which I'm going to keep a secret so you guys have to go look at it, but I think the number one album choice is controversial. It's and you'll see why. But these albums, they're albums that I can listen to from front to back, song one to the end of the album, without skipping any parts, any songs, anything. And I think that they are the most creative and most entertaining albums that I've ever heard. It's albums that have influenced me in many different ways, and I didn't confine myself to any specific genre or time period or anything else. The only rules that I gave myself were I had to like every song on the album, every part, and I could only choose one album per artist. That was important to me because if I didn't have that constraint, I would just say, okay, every album by Chon and every album by Polyphia, or every album by Archspire, or every album by whoever, whatever. I would just, there are certain bands that I think that have, nearly perfect catalogs of music. And so I only chose one per artist or band. So I want to start blogging. And if you guys have any ideas for, things that I could write about, feel free to shoot them over. We're always open to ideas, whether it's for the podcast, the blog, whatever. But yeah, we're going to entertain you, and you're going to go to our website because it's so much fun. You can't resist.
I think it's a good idea, and I think it's a step in the right direction to get people to interact more with our website. So it's a great idea.
Well, whether it be our YouTube channel, the podcast, our website, it's all an extension of us. And so, what we want to do is to engage with people more. And if we're not producing engaging content, why would they? And how many people out there, how many websites are out there that are just stagnant and just sitting there?
Yeah.
A lot. And, with everything trying to grab your attention nowadays, it's hard to find time for the things that, aren't as interesting or engaging. And so, yeah, I just want to stay true to who we are and talk about things that we like, but also maybe give you guys something to entertain you for a minute. See if you agree with our opinions on things. And, if not, like, that's cool too. That's the cool thing about music, is that your taste in music is all subjective. But, specifically with like our opinion pieces, or if we list, gear that we like, whatever, like I want people to, I implore you strongly to go and try out the things that we suggest, even if it's not a particularly good experience for you. It's an experience, and maybe you'll learn something, maybe you'll find something new, or find some new appreciation for something. And that's kind of my goal with the whole thing.
If I was gonna say, I don't know if we have like a comment section on the blog page, but if we don't, I think we should definitely put one there. That way, people have a chance to say whatever they feel about whatever blog post that they're looking at.
I think that's a great idea, and
because that's more interaction for them.
Let me just get my pen and paper out real quick, and I'll jot that down, and we will make that happen. That's a great idea.
See a pen and paper.
It's in my brain, okay?
Metaphorically.
My brain is made of paper. No, realistically, my brain is paper mache.
All right. Mr. Paper Mache Head.
It's joke time.
It's joke time.
What do criminal frogs say?
What do they say?
Rob it.
Rob it real good.
Oh, man. Okay.
So, what are we robbing?
The jewelry store, and tell them make me a grill. Throw back to old Nelly and Paul Wall.
I wouldn't mind having like a grill that looked like vampire teeth.
Yeah, I could see that.
I think that's be cool.
Kind of up your alley.
I think that'd be super cool. Maybe like, have you seen the Blade Trinity?
I don't think so.
Well, Triple H is in that movie. The wrestler.
Yeah.
And in the movie, he's got like his vampire teeth are like this silver. I mean, they obviously aren't silver because they're allergic to silver in that universe or whatever. But like they look silver, and I think that's pretty cool. Like, I think that would be really cool.
You said I think that's pretty cool. What?
Well, I was gonna say sick, but then sick sounds like suck, and vampires suck. So I don't know.
Oh.
That was my brain process. Anyway, I just watched that movie last night with my wife, and that's what made me think of that.
Oh, okay, I gotcha. I watched a movie last night with Sydney. I can't remember what it's called, unfortunately, but it's on Hulu, and it's like, no spoilers. It's about this like girl who leaves this like drug rehabilitation facility, and she gets caught in this snowstorm, and the cops tell her, like, you can either turn around or you can go to like a little further to this lodge. And she goes to this lodge, and there are like other people there who are like, hunkered down until the storm passes. And then like she goes outside to like this van, and she sees like there's this little girl like taped up in the van, and she decides she's gonna like try to rescue her. And I'm gonna say two things, no spoilers. It's one of the best movies I've seen in a while. It's really, really good. And also, like the dude with the deep voice from Allstate,
Yeah.
he's in that movie.
Okay.
And it's really good. He's a really good actor.
Yeah. Oh, what is his name? Is it? I want to say it's Denzel Washington, but I know it's not.
No, it's definitely not him, but they kind of, well,
They do look very similar.
yeah,
They could be brothers.
yeah. And the movie just has so many twists and turns. And I'm sure there's plot holes, but if you're just like looking for like something to give you anxiety, that's the movie. It's so good. Like let me see if I can find it real quick. It's great.
You know that when you tell me that story, like it reminds me of another show that I watched or tried to watch a while back. I couldn't because it was too freaky. But like it starts out kind of the same way. Like there's this girl and she's like an ex-addict and she's like kind of running away, getting away from her normal life or whatever. And there's like a thunderstorm and she ends up at this kind of bread and breakfast place.
Oh yeah.
And she gets a room there and they're like another guy is also there at the same time as her. And like he kind of like disappears and like the couple that are the couple that are there that own it or whatever, they kind of like, oh, we know what you're going through and we can help you, get off, like forget about all this stuff. And then like the longer she stays, the more like secrets come out and stuff like that. And they realize, and she starts seeing like she like her thing is like she like sees bugs everywhere.
Bugs?
Yeah. And like,
oh no.
And like she can't tell if they're real or not. And so like when she realizes like like the bugs that she's seeing are real and that the reason why they're there is because the people in the house are actually like they actually have real people like hidden all over the house, like in the walls and the floors, all this stuff, and they're all still alive and like being fed through IV and stuff. And like it's just this crazy story and it's just like
yeah, I love movies like that. That's crazy. I feel like I may have seen that one. It's kind of ringing a bell, but I watch so many like horror movies and stuff. They all kind of get
I couldn't finish it.
together.
It got to a point where it's like I can't handle watching this anymore. It's too freaky and it's like way too real. Like cuz that stuff like really happens.
Oh yeah.
Like
We may not hear about it, but it happened.
no, it happens. Like there's people out there that do stuff like that for sure. Like this person like went on a trip and they never came back. That's where they're at.
Oh yeah, for sure. Sorry to tell you, but
Like they didn't leave the country and start a new life somewhere. Like they're gone. They're up in someone's house somewhere.
So the movie that I watched was called No Exit.
Okay.
It's really good. If you haven't watched it, anyone listening, and you, Stefan, it's so good.
I'm definitely gonna check it out.
It's really good. As far as horror movies go, like I really like alien movies and I guess movies that are they're kind of cheesy, but like I really like the Conjuring universe. Like that stuff's pretty cool. But this is different. It's just different.
Speaking of aliens, all right, and movies,
Okay.
alien movies. All right, I just had like it made me think of this one movie. Have you seen like I'm not sure if it's like the newest one, but it's a Predator movie that's come out probably within the last few years.
Yeah, I think I know exactly what you're talking about.
And
I think it's just called Predator.
And well, like I like that movie, and I'll tell you why. Because it touches on autism.
Oh, okay.
And it's like there's this kid who's autistic, and the aliens are coming, like they're basically coming to take him, or I'm not sure, I don't remember exactly what they're doing, but like they come for him. Like the reason that they come to Earth is for him, and it's because like autism is basically like our next stage of evolution.
Oh.
And it's like the like our higher, plane of thinking or whatever.
Mhm.
It starts with autism.
That makes sense.
And like so like people with autism and stuff, like that's an evolutionary thing. Like I don't know if that's true or not. Like there's no way to tell if like that's an evolution or if it's if it's just something that people are born with, like people are born with other things, you know what I mean?
Right, yeah.
But like it's cool to think about it that way.
Yeah, I mean their brains definitely do function differently than someone without autism.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like
They
who knows?
they retain knowledge a lot better
Yeah,
than
they do.
than a typical human. And they are capable of things that typical humans are not capable of.
Mm-hmm.
And so like it makes sense that like they're the first step to an evolution in our brain that causes us to get to that next step of like usage of our brain, because we're only at like 12% or something like that.
I've always heard that statistic is a myth, that it's like you only use like 12% at any one given, like during one communication, like one synapse firing or whatever. But like I've heard like you actually do use 100% of your brain, and we don't know exactly what for exactly, but like you can see like when stimulated, like in an MRI machine, that each section of the brain does light up or whatever. But I mean, I could be wrong too, but I've always heard that it's a myth.
I mean, like I get it. Like, so like your brain has, every part of your brain has certain functions. And if you're doing, like, let's say you're doing this one thing that fires up all of those functions, then yeah, you're using your full brain you're using 100% of your brain to complete that task or to do that one thing. But at the same time, how much capacitance says each individual function have compared to what we're using? And I think the 12%, I think like 12% is applied to like how much of the function that we're using compared to how much we are capable of using.
Yeah, that's all above my pay grade. I am not a neuroscientist. I'm interested in those things, but there are so many things that I don't understand, and that's one of them. So like I have no comment. No, I wish I knew, but I have no comment.
Like this is like an old thing. Like pretty much anyone's heard of this at this point. But like dolphins, if you compare us to dolphins have the 30% of their capacity of what their brain can do, and we have 12%, and you can see like the difference between their abilities and ours. Like even though they can't speak our language, even though that their bodies are incapable of producing our words, they still understand us and they still can have a conversation with us. And that's crazy.
Yeah, and they have their own complex language as well. Yeah. And something that I've always thought was interesting about dolphins is that like half of their brain, like when they're ready to sleep, half of their brain shuts down, and they continue to swim, and they have like one eye open, and they continue to like just swim along and do all their normal stuff, but in like an incapacitated state for half of their brain,
like autopilot.
Exactly, it's like autopilot. And then once that half of the brain wakes up, the other half goes to sleep.
That's crazy.
Like, what is that?
See the ability to be able to control your brain, and like we don't have control over our brain for the most part. Like we have control over what we do, and our brain tells us what we do, but we don't have control over what our brain can physically do. And I think that's crazy. But dolphins do.
Yeah, that
Dolphins
is
have that
pretty nuts.
ability.
Yeah, so one time I was listening to Joe Rogan and he was talking about going on a fishing trip and or something like that. He was out in the ocean and he said he was like super high and he was sitting on the back of the boat and this dolphin swam up and he said like it popped out of the water and it was like looking at him like right in the eyes and he was looking back at it and he was like, the only difference between us is that I have thumbs and can manipulate my environment. He said it just hit him and he was like, these creatures are so smart. And yeah, it's pretty nuts. It's like I know they say that like octopi are so genetically different from anything else on Earth that like they think that maybe they came from outer space. Have you heard that?
Yeah, I have heard that.
It's nuts. And like their ability to camouflage using I think they're called chromatophores or something like that. It's like pigment in their skin to change color and blend in. Like they're crazy. And then how squishy they are and they can fit through tiny little crevices and stuff. It's pretty amazing. They're very intelligent, but they're not. It's funny because they're not intelligent in the same way we are. It's like we look down on them. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And yeah, like they don't build jets and skyscrapers and stuff and whatever, but just the fact that there is like other pretty intelligent life on Earth is kind of amazing. And it makes me wonder, like what the future is for those animals and like what could they become if given 300,000-400,000 years.
Jeez. To think about that. Well, are we getting close to the end there?
Yeah, I think so. We had to stop the podcast a little early today, or we have to, because I'm having what I think could be a medical emergency. So, yeah, just pardon us for this episode, and I hope I don't die.
You won't die.
Yeah, I won't die, but
You'll be fine.
It'll be fine, guys. It'll be fine. But yeah, we're gonna go ahead and sign off so I can go take care of myself, and hopefully whatever is going on is not that big of a deal, and maybe I'm just worrying myself.
Yeah, I'm sure whoever's listening will agree with me in saying I hope everything's all right.
Well, thank you guys, and I will talk to you on the next episode 12, where I'll be fully healthy. It'll be great. Bye.
And me too. Bye.